Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the studio at Frankie Studios. Sure, it's been a minute since I've been sitting in this chair talking in front of my piss ass phone screen. But, anyways, here we are back at it again with the F. Frankie Studios review or predictions of the 2025-2026 NFL season playoffs. So, this is an interesting year for us, especially I'm a Bills fan, as you know. If you, I don't know, under the British flag right there's a Bills flag. But anyways, that doesn't matter. But today we're just going to be predicting what I think is going to be the outcome of the playoffs this year. What I think, who are the contenders, who are the real frauds in the playoffs, and I don't know. I'm just seeing what we do. Hopefully, my picks or my ball knowledge is good this year. I've never predicted like an accurate Super Bowl within the past 5 years when I actually started doing this. I know I did a playoff review video in the 2021 season or something like that, but that is not important. Hold on, my phone's falling. There we go. All right, so we're gonna start off on the wild card. We're gonna start off in the AFC with the number 7 Los Angeles Chargers versus the number 2 New England Patriots. The Patriots, what a season they have been. Drake May, in my opinion, is number 2 in the running for the MVP candidate. A little scary. I don't necessarily like the Patriots, but, good for Drake May. He seems like a good guy. I do like Drake May as a guy, as a person. I'm not a huge fan of the glazing comments, the Drake, May, all that meep. But they're taking on the 7 seed, the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, sorry, my phone is falling again. Who have been decent, second in the AFC West. Anyways, the Chargers finished second in the AFC West. Justin Herbert's been playing, Justin Herbert football, which I like to see. I do like Justin Herbert as a quarterback, but do I like the Chargers organization as a whole? That's why I'll say, if it's not the Bills to win the Super Bowl, I would like to see the Los Angeles Chargers win the Super Bowl. But do I think they're going to make it out of the wild card round? No. I think the Patriots, they're just too strong of too strong of a team, too strong of an offense, that I don't think the Chargers are going to necessarily be able to compete with Drake May and everybody around there. So I think the Patriots are going to be moving on to the divisional. And this is the matchup that we're all waiting for. The Buffalo Bills in the 6th seed versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 3. This is a unique playoffs. The first playoffs that I remember, at least, the first playoffs for Josh Allen. No Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. 3 quarterbacks that have been an issue for him throughout the playoffs. But now you do have quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, who have been playing at an elite level, who've been playing arguably even better than Josh Allen has been this season. In the Chargers, this is the matchup that I did not want to see. The Chargers are scary. They have insane run defense, high-powered offense, that I don't know if the Bills will be able to compete with them. But the one thing, we have the playoff experience. It's being played in Jacksonville, so Josh Allen will have better weather to throw the football. I think that's honestly a big factor. For the past few games, Josh Allen has been playing in snow, rain, absolute crap conditions, cold. But he's going down to Florida, where hopefully it'll be nice and sunny for him to be able to more accurately throw the ball and get better reads. So I'm predicting the upset here. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just think we have the experience in the playoffs and we're able to work under the pressure. I need to see more of Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars organization to be able to know that they're contenders. I know they're 13-4. I know they can be contenders, and that is why this match scares me. But in order to be real playoff contenders, I need them to prove it to me, which they easily could do. I'm not going to lie. They could. This is going to be a interesting matchup for us. But if they do win this game, the Jaguars, I will be very, very not surprised and very scared for them as an AFC competitor in the future. And for the next matchup, for the wild card, we have. Sorry, my phone keeps falling. I'm sorry. I'm just like rambling. But for the next matchup for the wild card, we have the 5 seed Houston Texans versus the 4 seed Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers coming off a win against the Baltimore Ravens in Week 18 there to win the division. Tyler Loop choked it. Oh, I think it was the whole Ravens team. They had so many chances to score, but Tyler Loop ended up just taking the blame for him because he missed the last field goal kick. But this is my theory on this game. The Houston Texans, they have a young, solid team, especially their defense is killer. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have, this is a hot take, they have the coaching experience with Mike Tomlin. They have Aaron Rodgers, a veteran QB, who's been in so many playoff positions like this, won Super Bowl in Green Bay. But I don't think that's enough. There's no way. Aaron Rodgers is going to get clobbered by the Houston defense. Their defense is just too good. And you know what they say? Defense wins championships. So I do think the Houston Texans are going to absolutely demolish Aaron Rodgers. Well, they do have DK Metcalf back, but still, they're not getting past Houston. I'm sorry. All right, so now we're moving to the other side. We're going to the wild card of the NFC. Going to start off with the 6th seed, the San Francisco 49ers versus the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles. This is a matchup where I want to see the 49ers win. Out of all the teams that I hate in the NFL, the Eagles are probably my most hated team outside of, like, obviously the Dolphins. I even hate the Eagles more than the Patriots, and that says something. Anyways, that's besides the point. But the 49ers, they're a team, they're good. I do like Brock Purdy as QB, but they have too many people that are out. Fred Warner's out. Who else is out? Oh, whatever. I know there's a lot of key people that are out, and I think Philadelphia, obviously they won the Super Bowl last year. They have the experience. They have the coaching, where I do think they're going to make a statement in this playoffs. As much as they weren't as good as they were last season, they weren't as dominant as they were last season, I do think they will make a very deep run in this playoffs, and I think they will be able to knock off the San Francisco 49ers, especially considered that this is going to be played in Philadelphia, and the 49ers, so many key people that are inactive, so I think the Eagles will move on to the divisional here. Next up, we have the number 5 Los Angeles Rams versus the number 4 Carolina Panthers. The Panthers winning the NFC South in a interesting turn of events. They lost to the Buccaneers in Week 18, but then the Falcons came and saved them. So, but I'm sorry, Panthers fans, but you're going to get destroyed. I know you beat the Rams earlier in the regular season. I know. But the Rams, they have arguably the best coaching staff in the league. My MVP candidate, Matthew Stafford, he deserves the MVP 100%. And I don't think there's no way you're getting past the Los Angeles Rams in the playoffs. I like Bryce Young. I like the Panthers organization. I think they're an up-and-coming team. But right now, I think they're too inexperienced, and they don't have the experience that the Rams have in the playoffs, just like how they won in 2022, maybe. I don't even remember. But it is going to be the Los Angeles Rams that move on to the divisional. And for the next matchup, this is an interesting matchup. The 7 seed Green Bay Packers versus the 2 seed Chicago Bears. The Bears, they surprised me. I will be honest. I thought the Bears were going to be a, like a like a 5-1 team this year. Like they surprised me. Caleb Williams is a dog. Their offense is high powered. Defense concerns me a little bit, but the Packers, I feel like they're a little bit better overall, even though this isn't necessarily the best season that they could have hoped for, especially considered being the number 7 seed for the third year in a row, I believe. But you know what? Give me Caleb Williams. I have faith that with such a high powered offense, I know Green Bay, their defense is not bad, but their high powered offense and Caleb Williams' resilience this season, I think they're going to be able to knock off the Green Bay Packers and move on into the divisional rounds, considering this is going to be played in Chicago. This is kind of more one of the more tough matchups for me to predict, but I give me the Chicago Bears on that one. It's kind of my hot take of the week. I know they're the higher seed, but I think Caleb Williams might be able to get it done and make a deep run to the playoffs. All right, moving on to the divisional round for the AFC, we have the number 1 seed Denver Broncos facing off against the number 6 seed Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen. The Broncos, they're another scary team. I think they're in the same boat as the Jacksonville Jaguars for me. They need to prove themselves in the playoffs before I know they can be a real contender, because I know the Broncos, they are the number 1 seed, 13-4 record, I believe. Maybe not, maybe something else, but correct me on that if I'm wrong. But the amount of one score wins that they have does concern me a little bit. You need to be a little bit more in order to contend in the playoffs, especially against a team like the Buffalo Bills. They do scare me. The Denver Broncos defense is killer, and I do think it will be difficult for the Buffalo Bills to go into Mile High Stadium in Denver. Broncos, one of the most rough places to be an opposing player, especially with considering the difference in altitude and air, you know what I mean? But I trust Josh Allen's experience more than Bo Nix. Josh Allen has that deep playoff experience, and I know Josh Allen has never won a road playoff game. But I think with such the high-powered offense with Josh Allen and James Cook, and even our defense pushing through a little bit more than they were for the past few weeks, I do think with the experience that Buffalo has, we're going to be able to knock off the Denver Broncos and move on to the AFC Championship game. And this moves on to our next game of the divisional round, the number 2 New England Patriots versus the number 5 Houston Texans. I want the Patriots to win this game. The reason why, because I want to see the Bills versus the Patriots in the Bills versus the Patriots in the AFC Championship. I think that would be an absolutely thriller of a game. That'd be almost a revenge game for the Buffalo Bills for the Patriots stealing the division away from them. But with such a high-powered defense that Houston has, is Drake May and the New England offense going to be able to keep up? No. I think the Houston defense is just too good for an inexperienced QB in the playoffs like Drake May to get past such a killer defense. So I do think the Houston Texans are going to beat the New England Patriots, knock them off. I think this is going to be more of a low-scoring game, but I think the Houston Texans are going to be moving on to the AFC Championship game. All right, this leads us to the divisional round for the NFC. First up, we have the number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks, led by Sam Darnold, versus the number 5 seed Los Angeles Rams. This is another interesting matchup, another divisional matchup between 2 NFC West teams. The Seattle Seahawks, they're another team that did sort of surprise me. I thought they were going to be contenders this year, but I did not think they're going to get the number 1 seed. JSN is a dog. Sam Darnold has been playing out of his mind. Well, not out of his mind, but like better than like Sam Darnold has in the past. But anyways, it's being played in Seattle, one of the most difficult places to play as an opposing player. But do I trust Sam Darnold over Matthew Stafford? No. Do I trust, what's the Seattle coach's name? Shoot. Like McDonald something. Over Sean McVay? No. I think the Los Angeles Rams have a more put together organization. They have the MVP. I think he deserves the MVP. We have the number 1 MVP candidate. One of the best coached organizations in the league versus another QB that needs to prove himself. Sam Darnold versus Matthew Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford has that over Sam Darnold. So give me the Rams to move on to the NFC Championship. All right, for the next game in the NFC Divisionals, we have the number 2 seed Chicago Bears versus the number 3 Philadelphia Eagles. This is another interesting matchup because with the Bears-Packers game, I can see it going either way, but I do think the Bears will end up taking the best of them. But the Bears versus the Eagles, I think it's another thing that it comes down to experience. The Eagles, they have been playing a lot better within the past few weeks. They're not as dominant as they were last year, but I do think they have the experience to be able to make the deep playoff run more than Caleb Williams. I do think Caleb Williams could easily knock off the Philadelphia Eagles, but their defense is looking a lot better than I thought they would have. So I'm going to be taking the Philadelphia Eagles to be moving on to the to the NFC Championship game. And for the AFC Championship game, I have the Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Texans. This game will be played in Energy Stadium, Houston, Texas. You have Josh Allen versus the insane defense of the Houston Texans. Yeah, we're going to get cooked. We are going to get cooked. You know what they say, defense wins championships. You know what I say to that? I say get the crap out of here because the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen is going to make his run. This is going to be a revenge game after we embarrassed ourselves to the Houston Texans early in the season. We are going to be able to make that comeback. Josh Allen, he's going to have that dog in him to be able to make it to the Super Bowl and get past that Houston defense. I know it's being played in Houston, but like I said, Josh Allen hasn't been playing that good recently because he's been playing in absolute horrible, crappy weather, but he's going to be playing in a dome stadium, so he's actually going to be able to throw the ball better. So give me the Buffalo Bills for the AFC team to advance to the Super Bowl. I know, I might be biased, but no. I think Josh Allen has the experience, and this is his year to prove himself. If there's going to be no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Joe Burrow, this is Josh Allen's year. And for the NFC Championship game, we have the Los Angeles Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams that have been able to prove themselves lately. Well, not the Rams lately, but then able to prove themselves this season. The Eagles have been able to prove themselves lately, and I give them credit for that. But I think the Rams, they're overall around a better team, better organization. I like Sean McVay way better than Nick Sirianni. I think Nick Sirianni is an absolute jerk. I hate him. But I think the Los Angeles Rams, they're a little bit better overall, a little bit more well-rounded team. So I am going to pick the Los Angeles Rams to advance to the Super Bowl. I know this game is being played in Philadelphia, but I think the Rams will be able to get it done, pull off the upset in Philadelphia to advance to the Super Bowl. Now we move on to the Super Bowl held in Levi Stadium in Santa Ana, California, something like that. I don't remember. But we're going to have the Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Bills led by Josh Allen. The Rams led by Matthew Stafford. The Bills making to the Super Bowl. No Patrick Mahomes. No Lamar Jackson. No Joe Burrow to stop him. We have to get through Matthew Stafford. This will be a tough matchup for the Buffalo Bills. As much as I hate to say it, the Los Angeles Rams will be winning the Super Bowl. I'm saying that as a Buffalo Bills fan. I think they're an overall well-rounded, better team, better coached team. And as a Buffalo fan, I'm used to the heartbreak. I'm already prepared to be heartbroken in the playoffs, no matter when we lose. But I think the Los Angeles Rams, I think Matthew Stafford has been playing at an MVP level way better than Josh Allen has been this season. I think they're an overall well-rounded, better team, better coached team. And as much as I hate to do that and have the Buffalo Bills lose in the Super Bowl, I think the Los Angeles Rams will be a tough matchup for the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, and I think they are going to win. I'm sorry. I'm just prepared for the heartbreak. Every single year, I'm prepared for the heartbreak. Well, anyways, thank you for watching, and go Bills.